Picture this. You're being publicly humiliated. Someone is trying to break you down, questioning your competence, attacking your character. Your heart is racing, your face is burning with anger, and every fiber of your being wants to lash out. But what if I told you there's a different way? A way that ancient warriors, philosophers, and emperors used to not just survive these moments, but to absolutely dominate them without saying a single harsh word. The Stoics didn't just endure attacks, they turned them into displays of power. They developed 7 specific techniques that made them virtually unbreakable. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use their ancient wisdom to command instant respect in any situation, no matter how hostile. Stick around, because the 5th technique alone will completely change how people treat you. Number 1. The power of strategic words. Let's start with something that happens every single day. Someone tries to provoke you with their words. Most people either explode with anger or desperately try to defend themselves. But here's what the Stoics discovered. Your response reveals everything about your inner state. React emotionally? You've just shown weakness. Ramble defensively? You've given them power over you. Instead, Stoics mastered what I call strategic silence. When Marcus Aurelius was criticized in the Roman Senate, he wouldn't argue or justify. He'd pause, consider, then deliver one carefully chosen sentence that would completely reframe the entire situation. Imagine someone says, "You have no idea what you're talking about." Most people would immediately start listing their credentials. A Stoic might simply respond, "Help me understand your perspective." Notice what just happened? They didn't defend, they redirected. They didn't react, they controlled. Here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, before responding to any criticism or provocation, count to 3. Use those 3 seconds to choose power over reaction. Because here's the truth. Whoever controls the conversation's tone controls the outcome. But words are just the beginning. What the Stoics did with their emotions was even more powerful. Number 2, the unbreakable mask. Have you ever noticed how some people just radiate this calm confidence, even in chaos? There's a reason for that. When Epictetus was being tortured as a slave, his master was breaking his leg with chains. Instead of screaming or begging, Epictetus calmly said, "You're going to break my leg." When it snapped, he simply stated, "See? I told you it would break." His torturer was so unsettled by this response that he stopped. This is what Stoics called the discipline of desire, training your external expression to remain steady regardless of internal turbulence. They understood something profound. People can't manipulate what they can't read. Think about the last time someone tried to get under your skin. Maybe they were hoping to see you flustered, angry, or defensive, but what if instead you responded with the same energy as if they just commented on the weather? Here's the technique. When you feel that surge of emotion, anger, fear, embarrassment, imagine you're wearing an invisible mask. This mask shows only calm curiosity. Your heart might be racing, but your face asks, "Is that so?" Your voice remains steady, your posture unchanged. Remember, whoever remains calm in conflict holds all the cards, but maintaining this calm requires something even deeper. Number 3, the unmovable foundation. What would you do if standing up for your principles cost you everything? Your job, your relationships, your reputation. Cato the Younger literally chose death over compromising his principles. When Julius Caesar offered him amnesty and power, Cato refused. He'd rather die free than live as a hypocrite. That's not stubbornness. That's unshakable foundation. Stoics understood that when you have non-negotiable principles, you become immune to manipulation. Why? Because you've already decided what you won't do, regardless of consequences. Here's where most people fail. They have flexible principles. They'll bend their values for convenience, approval, or advantage. But here's what happens. Every time you compromise your principles, you weaken your foundation. Others sense this instability and exploit it. Right now, define your 3 non-negotiables. Write them down. When someone tries to push you beyond these boundaries, you don't need to argue or explain. Watch what happens when people realize you can't be bought, bent, or broken. They stop trying to manipulate you and start respecting you. But there's an even more powerful technique. Number 4, the devastating power of silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is absolutely nothing. What if I told you that your silence could be more devastating than any comeback? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Stoics discovered that refusing to engage in petty conflicts doesn't make you weak, it makes you untouchable. Here's what happens in the attacker's mind when you don't react. First, confusion. They expected a fight. Then, frustration. Their strategy isn't working. Finally, self-doubt. They start questioning their own behavior. Try this. Next time someone tries to bait you into an argument, simply nod, maintain eye contact, and say nothing. Watch their energy deflate. They can't fight with someone who refuses to fight back. But here's the crucial difference between stoic silence and weakness. You're not silent because you're afraid. You're silent because you choose to be. That choice is what makes it powerful. This connects to something even more liberating. Number 5, the immunity to rejection. What if I told you that you could become completely immune to insults, criticism, and rejection? Not by building thick skin, but by fundamentally changing where your worth comes from. Stoics discovered something revolutionary. Your value doesn't come from other people's opinions. It comes from your character, your actions, your integrity. When you truly understand this, criticism loses its sting. Most people are constantly seeking validation. They need likes, approval, recognition. But here's the trap. When your worth depends on others' opinions, you give them control over your emotional state. Epictetus taught, no one can hurt you without your permission. Someone calls you incompetent. That's their opinion, not your reality. Here's how to build this immunity. For 1 week, practice this mental shift. When someone criticizes you, instead of thinking, they think I'm bad, think they're sharing their perspective. When someone rejects you, instead of I'm not good enough, think this wasn't the right fit. Notice what happens. You become unshakable. The most advanced Stoics actually welcome criticism. Why? Because it either helped them improve or confirm their strength. Either way, they won. Number 6, the forge of strength. Every warrior knows this truth. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your level of training. Stoics didn't wait for hardship to find them. They actively sought discomfort. Cold showers, sleeping on hard surfaces, fasting, walking in harsh weather. They were forging themselves in advance. Most people try to avoid discomfort at all costs. But here's what Stoics understood. Every comfort you avoid makes you weaker. Every challenge you embrace makes you stronger. Start small. Take cold showers. Walk instead of driving when possible. Skip a meal occasionally. Say no to immediate pleasures. Each time you choose difficulty over ease, you're building what Stoics called the muscle of discipline. Change your relationship with discomfort. Instead of, this is terrible, think this is training. Instead of why me, think perfect timing. You're not a victim of circumstances, you're a warrior in training. Number 7, the mirror of respect. Here's the ultimate Stoic secret. The world is a mirror. It reflects back exactly what you project. If you carry yourself with dignity, people treat you with dignity. If you respect yourself, others respect you. If you believe in your worth, others believe in it too. All the things that we covered aren't separate techniques. They're all expressions of one thing: deep self-respect. Tomorrow morning, before you interact with anyone, ask yourself, how would someone who deeply respects themselves handle this situation? Then do that. Conclusion: the Stoic transformation. Let me leave you with this. You have a choice right now. You can continue reacting to life, letting others control your emotions, seeking validation, avoiding discomfort, or you can choose the Stoic path. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, having practiced these principles daily. Choose one technique from today's video and practice it for the next 7 days. I guarantee you'll see results. The Stoics believed that philosophy without action is worthless. Let me know in the comments which technique resonated most with you, and subscribe if you want more ancient wisdom for modern power. Remember, you already have everything you need to hold your ground like a Stoic. Now go prove it.